Flyover State of Film was shot in front of a live studio audience.
I always fucking hate starting these things. That's staying in. God damn it.
Say hello.
What episode is this?
84.
Welcome to episode 80, some Flyover State of Film. Guys, it's happy to be back. I hope everyone's full and doesn't have, like, cavities from Halloween. That was a long episode. Very long episode.
I see the dentist tomorrow morning.
You know that I woke up
Yes.
the other day super hungover, and I was prepping the dog's food, and I found blue fingerprints in my kitchen. And I was like, when the fuck did I go to the kitchen? And I forgot that I got up to
I still have a little bit of tattoo left on my arm because I'm too lazy to scrub it
I
off
almost
the
burnt
right
my
way.
apartment down.
Any ones that were visible, I took off. It took me forever to get those off, but I rubbed them off that night. But one that I knew nobody would see, I just have been letting it slowly wear off.
I couldn't breathe that entire episode. Welcome to another episode of Flyover State of Film, guys. We're back, and how my boys doing? Brian, Joe, Yusef. Glad to see you with normal faces. no
You're
paint.
loose.
I'm finally not hungover from Halloween. From the Halloween episode specifically.
Specifically that, the 2 weeks.
That day. 2 weeks
That
to the
day.
end of the day. We're doing good. Doing good. It's a nice day in Jersey. It's like a summer day.
Any news? Anything anyone gonna say?
Oh,
Uh,
I actually have a bit of
Yes.
house cleaning I'd like to do. A bit of we have a friend of the show. We've talked about him before. We've addressed him directly on the show. Our buddy Ryan.
Ooh.
He's in the a film program. He's going to film school at Wright State here in Ohio, Buckeye State. Shout out. Whoop. It's terrible. It's like sub Texas. But anyway, him and his class are getting ready. No, I refuse. I hate that. God, I hate that Google response shit. I hate it. Anyway, Wright State University, Mopix, they're having a documentary night. Now, obviously, most people that see this won't be able to go to that. It's on November 18th. But they will also be putting up the films from all the students. There's like, I think, 10 or 11 of them, between 5 and 15 minutes. But a lot of, like, young filmmakers trying things out. And if you're a fan of that sort of thing, you want to support those type of things, you will be able to find that. I unfortunately do not have a full YouTube place we can send you. When we do, I'll make sure it gets put in the comments below. Yusef will do that, but I'll tell him to do that, and it'll get put in the comments below. But for right now, if you want to follow Wright State, and they have a Twitter, WSU Mopix, you can follow them on there. And I retweeted them earlier today, and I will post about it also later, probably when this episode comes out. So shout out to Ryan, and good luck on chasing your dreams. A thing that I never did. I got a boring job instead.
Congratulations. That's very fun.
That's awesome.
Good. Check it out, guys.
Does any of the documentaries star Chris Pratt?
No.
No,
Too
but
many
he does
things do star Chris Pratt, though.
But he does voice an
unnecessary amount of
animated.
things.
Just what's been the casting call of that? Of like, hey, Chris is free. He's having the year like Kevin Hart had like 5 years ago. Of like, the next movie, let's put Kevin Hart in it.
He's been big for a while now, but like specifically the voice casting thing, all of a sudden,
the voice casting.
because we're pretty far removed from Lego Movie now, and like it's not.
He was
like
great in
he
that.
was the older brother.
He was in that one
He was
Pixar
in that-
movie, but it wasn't one of the big
Yeah.
Pixar movies that blew up. It's like the one
It's
everybody
very good
forgot
too.
about.
Onward, you
I
guys
didn't
should
even
check
see
out
it.
Onward. You
I
guys
didn't
all
see
should
it.
watch Onward. It's very good.
I'm sure
It's
it's on
fine.
Disney Plus. So.
I'm a grown up.
I have a child, but my child only likes to watch horror shit. I
Hell
can't
yeah.
get him to watch a family movie. He used to love Coraline. I wanted to sit down. I wanted to watch Coraline. He was just kind of like, I was like, what are you talking about? Movies don't get ungood when you get older. Like,
He'll re-realize that when he hits like 16, 17.
I mean,
he has a few ages where he's like,
yeah.
I
Teen
mean, yes,
films
there are
my
movies that
favorite.
you like as a kid that don't age well, but like some movies are just good across the board.
Yeah,
and
but
Coraline
he has
falls
to.
in that category.
Yes, but he has to realize that on his own for certain movies.
Well, it all started with Chris
I don't have
Pratt.
time for that. Okay, Joe, I don't have the patience for that.
Yeah, well, I mean, regardless of like what he did in the Lego Movie, which it was fine for its time, but like it all started with Starlord.
Yeah.
Well, that
And
was his big break.
I will embarrassingly admit that I was huge on the Chris Pratt train after the first Guardians. I was like, let this dude be the new Indiana Jones. I'm here for it. Let's go. Like,
if you don't know about his like eye rolling, if you don't know about his eye rollingness, like, I mean, he's a good lead. If you watch Starlord, like he's charismatic,
charming and
charismatic in those movies.
Joe had a mini stroke there.
I think his downfall. I think his like acting downfall was like, oh, I'm a little sick of him. Was Jurassic World like that? I was like, all right, you're doing too much.
But see,
I
I
like
think
you as Starlord.
I think because we're on film Twitter so much, we don't understand that most people think Jurassic World is fine. I think it was that movie with him and Jennifer Lawrence where he was like the space misogynist or whatever.
Yeah,
and that was the first time people really turned on him a little bit. And then when he broke up with Anna Faris and he married the Schwarzenegger girl, and he's like weirdly religious now, and he donates to that church that's like anti-gay, and people don't like that. So like it's slowly been chipping away.
Yeah, like I don't mind. Like I never mind Chris Pratt to this day. I just more find it like, all right, man, like we get it.
Yeah, fuck him.
Like,
let's recast him from Starlord. We're pussyfooting around the fucking topic. Brian, who are you replacing him with?
Well, I just watched The Harder They Fall, and I thought Jonathan Majors was just like an amazing choice. Like maybe I'm influenced by seeing Chadwick Boseman do Starlord on What If, but I was like, I don't know. He's got in the MCU, but he's going to be Kang the Conqueror, and who cares? We haven't even seen that yet, so he could be Starlord. What if you Starlord?
I'm going next. I want to be just as woke as Brian. I want to go Rahul God damn it, I don't know his fucking name. The guy from
woke. You can't pronounce dude's name.
You can't be woke if you can't pronounce
Rahul.
All
right, guys, I have a woke pick. So.
No, stop. I'm serious though. That guy's pretty.
I picked a girl.
What was your pick? Say the name. Try to say it again. Who is he? Or they?
The guy from Midnight Mass.
The sheriff?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I don't like.
Okay.
Well, why?
I don't know who that was, and without knowing.
I don't know who that is.
Name, I can't really picture him.
All right.
It's a picture right here.
Yeah, you so can
right
you do
here,
a whole scroll of his name just over and over again?
It's like, you guys act like I'm going to watch the show back and get my question answered.
No. Can we cut this all back and let me go one more time?
No.
Okay. Regardless.
You can go
yeah. He shows his comedy chops, and also he plays like more of like a dorkier side in the CW show. I can't really think of the top of my head. It's like a zombie detective-ish show.
iZombie?
Yes. And then like he already all of a sudden like had a glow up, and he's just like guy in the the suit, looks great, big. It's kind of like what Chris Pratt did. He played the fat Andy guy in that show.
Are you talking about Rahul Kohli?
That's what I said, man. I said that at the very beginning.
I don't even think Joe said it right. I still don't know who that is.
I will go to his phonetic spelling.
Did someone else pick now?
Oh God, I was trying.
Joe, what's your woke pick?
It's not that. It's not woke at all.
He picks Mel Gibson.
Mel Gibson.
It's not woke at all. Actually, it's
actually, this man should replace Mel
Roman
Gibson.
Polanski.
Kevin Novak. Nandor from What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh,
yeah,
I saw somebody post him to be Bond, and I was like,
"That was me.
Sure, I'm into it."
That was me who posted had been.
Are you sure that was
Are
you?
you sure?
You
Googled it.
Yusef,
Did you retweet it?
put it up.
No, I shared it and I put it because he's incredibly charming and handsome.
A lot
and
of this
hysterical.
stuff is not gonna happen, but I'm gonna keep pointing. And future Yusef, when he's editing, he's gonna be like, "No."
Did he chuckle into himself about all the things he's not doing?
All right, well, I'm.
Son of a bitch.
So I thought I had a good picture.
I already
think this guy
edited
Well,
a
that's a good
3
point.
and a half
I
hour
agree.
podcast.
Nobody was disputing it.
I don't know who it is.
Mine is super woke as well. Mine is Jack Black. Like, I want Jack Black as is. Like, old, fat, tired Jack Black is gonna be the new Starlord.
If I wanted to see
100%.
that, I would just be Starlord for Halloween every year.
Like,
I
I
wanna
feel
see-
like Chris Pratt has tried to replicate the energy of Brendan Fraser and Mummy and
He's
the
done well.
charisma of
Brendan
Jack
Fraser
Black
came
in
back
any
and said
any fucking movie that he's ever made. And he's good at
Yeah,
his
right now I'm
I'm not
picturing
gonna
Jack
deny.
Black doing the Star-Lord dance at the beginning of the first Guardians of the Galaxy, and it's so much better
Yeah.
than when Chris Pratt did it. It's incredible. He's got a
Yeah,
big
fair.
beard sticking out from under his mask. Like, leave
Yeah.
the beard, you know?
Just like exactly as is. Like, and he could be, body positivity. He could be with Wong. He could be like, they could have a scene where they're eating together and be like, yeah, we're fat, but we're awesome. It's like, fuck yeah, we don't have to,
Or we just go the
inject
opposite.
ourselves with horse steroids from Mexico.
Or what about Larry David? Just full embrace.
Getting annoyed at all the
Yeah.
things.
She's green. Not bad. Not good.
Alright.
All right, that was a good little
move on
warm-up
to
topic. I like
All
that.
right.
That was nice.
Well, to prove my point,
Dusted
I
that
did
one
send
off.
you guys the tweet that
Oh, thank goodness. Thank goodness.
Who's got the first topic?
Brian.
Oh, I do.
Hey.
I got the first topic. And I'll tell you the topic and I'll give you my pick because it's all part of the same story. So I'm sitting there and I'm watching The Movies That Made Us, which is a fine little documentary show. It's not very thorough. There's only an hour for each movie. And I know enough about movies like Jurassic Park and Aliens to be like, you're just glossing over so much, but it's fine.
It's popcorn.
Right, it's popcorn. It's good popcorn for people. It's fine. So we get to Coming to America, which is not my favorite movie or anything, but it's fine. And I was watching it.
Wonder why.
And John Landis is on there, right? And he's like, this whole thing about, everybody just introduces themselves, and he's like, oh, I have to introduce myself? I'm John Landis.
I'm the one that
Or
murdered.
no, he doesn't say his name. They save it all the way till the end, but it's just one of those things where he was just being real pompous and shit. And then I started thinking about, and then they do actually. I was really surprised they touched on the Twilight Zone stuff because we talked about it is pretty light popcorn fare. You might expect they would just kind of breeze by that, but they do touch on it a little bit. But he fully was negligent and got those people killed. And then also he produced Max Landis. So between him being a pompous, self-involved ass face and a lazy manslaughterer and producing Max Landis, I was like, this guy sucks. And he hasn't made a good movie since 1988. And
I'm gonna put
still gets
the thumbnail
revered.
I'm gonna put the thumbnail where Max Landis is asking why everybody's black now.
That is
right.
good.
For the
I keep
people
pointing to the
listening, though.
left, and I feel
Yeah,
like
it's not
Skype is gonna
working.
put me down there, and then everything is gonna be over here.
For the people listening though, what
Oh yeah, all the audio.
what is the what is the negligence that happened with the Twilight Zone in a nutshell?
Oh, it was basically an on-set stunt with actor Vic Morrow and two Vietnamese children, and there just was the safety protocols weren't in place, and they were working. People were overworked, too many long hours, pushing too hard, stunt too dangerous, people that shouldn't have been involved, the actors not stunt people, and so on and so forth. And they got killed, him and pretty horrifically, chopped up by a helicopter blade, killed. You know what I mean? This isn't just oops. When somebody got shot, that was horrible too. But this is Final Destination shit.
It's
horrific.
awful.
So
yeah. No, I just think it's good context to like who he is.
Yeah, that's true. Not
Like,
everybody knows that sort of thing. You know, it's one of those Hollywood. So many people. You have no idea how many people in Hollywood have killed people. Like, I know the Alec Baldwin thing's in the news right now, but like, just endless. Like the amount of celebrities that have just killed somebody with their car is like a mile long.
Like a mile of bodies.
Yeah, like the mile that they dragged the body after they hit the person, probably.
Yeah.
Anyway, so John Landis was my pick for a director who is just a horrible person, and that was my question: who's the worst director? But I don't care about their body of work. Who's the worst person? We're going to talk about some real scumbags today.
Yeah, I mean,
it's unfortunately it's
legitimate criminals. It's easy because there's so many actual criminals to choose from.
I picked a legend, and it's easy to pick a few legends. Maybe we can do a round robin because there's so many legends that we can mention.
The same people we all picked.
Yeah, but I think I'm just gonna go with Alfred Hitchcock.
Yeah, that was my pick, but I got
what he did to many women in Hollywood, especially Tippi. How he harassed and became obsessed with them, and how he allegedly destroyed many careers of women that didn't favored his advances.
He Louis C.K. people. He ruined the careers of people who didn't play along. You know, for a modern context, for anybody who needs it.
But yeah, he was like, it's kind of hard to imagine how hard it was for that, you know, for actresses and actors as well, like to not only be in that Hollywood system, especially back then where studios ran the world, and if you didn't play along, you didn't have a shot. Many producers took advantage of that. Many studio heads took advantage of that. But put that all aside and think about the momentum that Hitchcock had at that moment. Like, if you were in a Hitchcock movie, you were a star. You were a box office draw, and that he could essentially make or break your career. He was one of the few names in that era, and then he becomes obsessed with you, and you're like, "Fuck, I don't want to fuck this ugly ass white old dude." So yeah, it's
he looks like the Penguin.
Yeah,
he laugh at, but yes,
he had a very specific body type.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of hard to reconcile. You know, when the Me Too movement occurred and everybody was trying to reconcile like Woody Allen or
Oh hey, don't spot all the.
No, I know, like we can go back there, but I was trying to say like it was especially hard for a lot of horror fans and a lot of classic cinema fans to go, hey, that guy that probably influenced me into becoming a film nerd is actually a monster. So it's kind of like that guy that innovated a lot of the techniques that we utilize today, a lot of the zooms, a lot of the cuts, blah blah blah. That's still part of even the cinematic language. He's a predator.
Yeah. Even the biopic they made, they made 2 biopics out of him. One highlights all of that. The HBO one.
Yeah, the girl is
Toby Jones. The girl. Yeah, the girl. And then the Anthony Hopkins one is more of like a quirky celebration of Alfred Hitchcock. I remember it was in theaters being like, oh, I like that movie because it was like, it has that biopic very like by the numbers. So you're like, it hits the emotions right. But when you start really looking into it, you're like, I could just watch like a couple of his movies every once in a while and I'm good.
Yeah, but the girl's pretty good. It's not as heavy-handed as, you know, pointing out that he was an asshole, but there are a lot of moments that you can, as an audience member, connect the dots fairly easily.
They play him and the girl more as a movie monster, like a human movie monster, like than more of someone you should be inspired by.
Yeah. But yeah,
you know,
that was my pick.
The Anthony Hopkins one plays it as like, yo, his quirkiness, he has to film indoors, and like this is his masterpiece, and like the lead up to Psycho, and anyway, it's a good pick because it's the reason why, or one of the reasons why, the auteur theory or like doesn't work. It doesn't matter. You don't have to be an auteur to be an asshole, and it's not my pick. But it's like you go right into like a Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, what he did maybe wasn't considered criminal, but like still very destructive and abusive, and
You followed up with a guy that actually is a criminal and ruined one of my favorite horror movies growing up that I had no idea about until after, a couple
That's a
years
good
later. But
I didn't even think about this one.
this one hurts. This one hurt because like I can't even watch both the movies. The second one's not that great,
Oh,
and they're still fucking making them, which is insane to
Yeah,
me.
my
they're
pick.
still working with this dude's still working.
Still working after being
It's only-
convicted of.
only movie I ever
didn't
thrown
out.
realize
Talk
it's also
about-
the guy who did Powder, and I was aware of Powder, and I was also aware of kind of like the fact that the dude was a creep. Like,
Victor Salva.
He was
I don't want to
convicted
get into
before
his
he
crime.
started working.
Yeah.
I literally I had pivoted from Hitchcock to him, which is hysterical that you picked him now, TJ,
Yeah.
because I have his Wikipedia up right here.
don't worry, there's still plenty more.
So we're talking about the director of Jeepers Creepers.
Yeah, shout out to
which
Catch
I
a
didn't-
Predator. This is very in my zeitgeist right
didn't
now.
realize he
What's
was
the guy's
convicted
name? I don't even
pre
know
the
the dude's name.
movies.
I had
Say the
no
name,
clue.
Joe.
Victor Salva.
Victor Salva.
Salva. And I just want to say this, and I'll let TJ go off. And this is the only movie I've ever, I don't want to sound like a hardo here or whatnot, I threw out the $5 bin DVD I bought of Jeepers Creepers 1 and 2 because I was like, I'm not going to watch this. Guy was always a pedophile after his conviction. Like, and it doesn't change that. That's like that's a breaker.
I'll double down on you, and I'll send this to you after
you will
send it. But I tweeted myself throwing it out on a snowy fucking
Oh.
day in a fucking in my dumpster because
Everybody
it's like.
just
And but okay,
not gonna happen.
I'm sorry to even laugh at the guy and what he fucking committed because I don't even want to like get deep into it. Just obviously
No,
child
it's fucking
pornography,
horrendous.
pedophilia, was convicted, which is insane, and is still working today. Still has backing, still has fucking people
Yeah.
helping him produce films, which is nuts because I
yeah,
watched
one.
Creepers growing up, and I fucking thought it was a great film. I thought it was very scary and unique compared to like I grew up with slashers just like you guys. We've talked about a million times on this goddamn podcast. But it's just like one of those things where like as soon as you find things like that out, it's like and you see it on USA on a Sunday afternoon, you're like, well, I can't finish it now. People like separate art from
There's
real
rare
life.
types.
Like you can't at these points.
There's
right?
there's levels. Everybody's got to
Yeah.
find their own personal, but like there's some things you can't.
Not to get all on you guys, but what I was fucking annoyed at, and like I have this thing was Jeepers Creepers 3 was coming out, and at the same time I forget what show was being like, or someone was getting like I'm not supporting Netflix and all of this stuff. And it was something else at that time in 2017, and I forget.
Yeah.
And it was like, why aren't you guys boycotting for letting them host this third movie and premiere it of this guy who's a known pedophile? But it's like, this one guy who said something dumb. I forget the example, but
it's because the profile was lower. Like, you know what I mean? It
Yeah.
didn't generate the clicks.
Yeah, it's like, it's so hypocritical. Like, just be mad about it all.
Yeah, it's all bad. Be mad about everything.
Speaking of separating the art and the artist, and this is a really good and mature topic you picked here, is Roman Polanski's a piece of shit, right? And his one movie where I can't separate is Rosemary's Baby. I still really like that movie, and it's the only time I'm like, I'll separate the art. Like Woody Allen, I don't care about any of his films. I have no interest in buying any of his movies or watching them. It's like, cool, I could get that in other places. The same story.
I kind of like Midnight in Paris.
Midnight in Paris is good. No, it's a good movie. Like,
but every time I've seen it,
Woody Allen's an easy one for me. I'd never really gotten into it, so it's like, you knew it was a creep. I just don't have to watch. You know what I mean? No reason to get started.
I've seen Annie Hall, and I've seen Midnight in Paris, and I think that's all Woody Allen I know.
Oh yeah.
I watched the Larry David one he was in. That was awful.
Just that shit.
Which one?
So, Joe was
Polanski your pick?
Polanski your pick, Joe.
I guess I'll use that. I literally went Hitchcock, and that's why I have loaded answers for both of these guys. I had them written out. It's just, I'm sure we go through it, and I'm sure there's a lot more creeps that are directors, and like not just creeps, like bad people. Max Landis.
Yeah, like I said, there's just been a lot of people revealed to be real pieces of shit. Like, on my short list was also Bryan Singer. Just notorious for these like parties where he would lure in these young teenage boys and have them like feed them booze and drugs and take advantage of them. I mean, that's like somehow Kevin Spacey took the brunt and Bryan Singer kind of slipped into the background and just kind of he's just been real quiet. But that dude's a scumbag, and like that's another one where I have a hard time because there's a lot of Bryan Singer movies I actually like quite a lot. Like
it's always wild.
And that sucks,
It's always wild to me that also the people else in the industry that you're like they're completely normal and they'll just come out and like support these type of directors or whatever. I'm like, well, they're all fine. Like one of the weirdest moments, and I like the people I'm going to say, are when Roman Polanski wins his Oscar, which is still fucked up, for The Pianist in like 2000. You have like De Niro and your Pacinos and all of those golden era standing up, ovation, clap, and it's like, what?
Well, also in the 70s, so many people were banging teenagers in the 70s. Like, there's so many of your heroes that they don't talk about that were having sex with underage people. Like,
we're talking,
it was wild.
We're talking legends. Charlie Chaplin, one of my all-time favorite comedic legends. He was 34 or 44, one of those two numbers, and he married a 16-year-old. Like,
Jerry Seinfeld.
Shit.
On the cover of People.
Director Jerry Seinfeld. All right.
Oh, well, I mean, that honorable mention, Mel Gibson, he's a piece of fucking shit.
Yeah, and he makes good movies. It sucks.
Yeah. Talented, but still, all these guys, it's talented pieces of shit for sure. All right, well, I'm glad we just ruined some directors for some people, I think.
I was actually
and made people very sad.
Yes.
I was actually listening to a horror podcast today where it was going through their episode catalog, and they covered Passion of the Christ, and I was like, oh, this is going to be interesting. And it was interesting for them to talk about it in the sense of like a torture porn movie. And they were even like, oh, Mel Gibson, piece of shit. But he gave us the term sugar tits, and he makes some good movies.
Damn it. Oh, I laughed.
Passion of the Christ not being one of them.
No.
Anyway, so next topic. Yusuf has a fun game for us, but it's accents, actually.
Yeah, it's not really a game. He was going to do a game.
It was going to be a game, but,
No, it's accents.
We watched Ghostbusters too, and there is a character in this movie with a funny, goofy, quirky accent.
But they woo.
And it got me to thinking, like, there's a lot of instances, especially in the early 80s, 90s comedies, where all it was required for it to be funny was, that guy was using a funny accent.
Oh, you mean Bronson Pinchot's whole career?
My pick before it's stolen, it's Martin Short in Father of the Bride.
Yes, so good.
It's so fucking good because Steve Martin does not understand a single fucking word he's saying, and his Diane Keaton and his daughter are like, oh yes, that's a great idea. And he's like, what the fuck is happening? Like, he feels like he's having a stroke, and you can tell like Martin Short was just like improvising a lot of the sequences where he would decide to mumble through certain words and actually say the other ones to try and like kind of catch Steve Martin off base.
Now let's see. This is what I suggest. We select a cake first.
Okay.
Because the cake very often determines what kind of wedding that you end up having. So let's just choose a cake, okay?
Okay.
Choose.
But yeah, I fucking love that performance. It's such fun. It's crazy to think, as a kid I was obsessed with both of them because I watched that and Three Amigos without knowing that they were like these legends of Hollywood. I was just like, oh yeah, that's the guy from Father of the Bride and the Three Amigos.
You can't convince me otherwise that Father of the Bride and Father of the Bride 2 are in the same universe as the Ghostbusters and Ghostbusters 2. They have the same look, same feel, same comfort.
Oh wow.
They have the same comfort level.
I've Father of the Bride so long, but I remember.
Yeah, I mean, I also haven't seen them in a very long time.
They're fun. They're enjoyable.
If somebody reminds me, I think I would pick that for my next movie. Like, I think it's gonna be Father of the Bride.
I would enjoy that.
Is it my pick next? No.
I think I'm next.
when it's
it's
my
my
turn.
pick.
I picked
Oh.
today, right?
Father Bride 2, Martin Short specifically, they gave him obviously his character a large role with his success.
Yeah.
He does, and it's not it's sequelitis, especially of the early '90s, but he does save that movie of having his character be in it again.
Yeah, no, he is one of the biggest sources of comedy, and it's just so out of, and then there's a sequence where he hires this brilliant chef, but the chef is from whatever country he's also from, and the chef does not speak English, and he's telling Steve Martin, like, don't worry, he's bad, his English is horrible, but I will translate so you understand what is happening. And he's like, and Steve Martin is like, yeah, I think this will help, thank you, I guess.
Have
But
you
yeah, that was
watched
my
their new show?
what is your picks, guys, of ridiculous fun accents in movies?
I picked
take
Youssef.
this one back.
Oh, wait.
Damn it, that's was my pick. No, I would say like any movie, and this goes for everybody in the movies, but mostly because it's him, and he does it a lot too. Any Adam Sandler movie and all of his buddies, they constantly. I mean, I get it. But I wish I could do it with you guys. I wish I was a millionaire and I could make just bullshit movies with you guys and have no repercussions because it was your production company. All everybody's friends. No one's going to complain about it unless it's watching it. You know what I mean? But like other than that,
I'll get to be the Rob Schneider and be offensive.
Dude, I would love to
Like,
be.
he
I'll
has
be the
a
Nick
past
Swartzen
sense.
of your group if you were
Oh.
Adam Sandler.
Nick
I'll be
Swartzen,
the
so you're
guy-
gonna have a horrible downhill slide.
I'll be
Yeah,
the guy
maybe I'll
with the
pick, Kenny the
cross-eyed,
cameraman
the
instead.
cross-eyed guy.
Yeah,
Oh.
John.
I thought like this, man.
I'll be the guy from Grandma's Boy.
Nobody's picking lead roles. It's like, I'll just be in the background.
I'll just be Steve
I can be
Buscemi.
like-
That's okay, fine. I'll be the Steve Buscemi.
I
Fine, I
love
get
that
Kevin
Steve
James.
Buscemi. I love that Steve Buscemi is part of Adam Sandler's crowd because the most obscure actors. Like, I have my own eclectic career, but I show up for every Sandman movie
But
and
he's
have a
got
blast.
Because I was in Billy Madison, now I'm in every
Yeah.
Sandman movie.
I'm gonna
Metro's
call.
in there. It's like
I'm so glad I called that guy.
yeah.
Sorry, TJ.
But I mean, it's like it's and it like I enjoy him. I like him.
Oh, I think Waterboy is probably my favorite of his accents.
Oh, Little Nicky's fun.
Mama says that alligators are ornery because they got all them teeth but no toothbrush.
Fun to do.
No.
Well, he always kind of
My chicken's fucking
It becomes
awesome.
even
think-
Brian will back me up on this one. Hubie Halloween, he has that like the way
Yeah.
he comes off talking is kind of like a mixture between Lil Nicky and Bobby Boucher.
Bobby Boucher.
Bobby.
That's
Bobby
quality H2O.
But I mean, I love him and I always watch him for fun. But there's sometimes just like, God damn it. But I
The
mean,
only one that he doesn't
really
do an
nice.
accent
Yeah.
is that murder mystery one, the Netflix with Jennifer Aniston.
I've never seen that yet.
I actually didn't
Yeah, I
mind
didn't
that.
see that one.
Yeah, it was fine. Yeah, it was just kind of a real basic rom-com.
Yeah, it was just like,
You guys saw my tweet, I'm sure, from a couple weeks ago. I think we put on Hubie
I have you
Halloween,
muted. I didn't see it.
and okay, and Laura was like, "Oh, that's Ben Stiller." I'm like, "That's from Happy Gilmore." And she's like, "Never watched it." And I was like, "What? We've been together almost a decade, and you've never seen
we're
Happy?"
married and you didn't see
Yeah.
Happy Gilmore?
Oh, I just
And,
had a weird
Anyway, we
moment.
watched it, and she loved it, and she was like, "That was a hot take. That was a good movie." I'm
I
like,
didn't say that out loud.
"It's like let's watch Big Daddy soon."
Big Daddy, I don't know how. I watched that pretty recently, and it's like there's some parts of that don't hold up
No.
great, but
All
it's
those
alright.
movies
It's
have
it's a
that.
criminal.
Still
He's a
enjoyable.
criminal.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. Well, Adam Sandler was my pick, or Adam Sandler movies. Who's next?
I guess me,
Oh,
Brian.
me? It's going to me. I picked
Mostly it's fine.
Fred Armisen in Eurotrip, just saying Miss Scusi over and over again.
Miss Goose, Miss Goose.
Miss Scusi, Miss Scusi.
Mi scusi. Mi scusi.
And then my honorable mention was Heather Graham in From Hell, where she tries to do a British accent.
Oh my
and
god.
it's real like, hello, governor. We got to save baby Alice. It's real good.
I mean, you could have lumped in Keanu in the Dracula movie as well.
This is worse, though. I would even say...
and Harvey Keitel in The Last Temptation of Christ. Yo, Jesus.
Hey, Jesus over here. Also, honorable mention to the guy from Mortal Kombat this year who was like a robot smoke man, but he talked like he was from the... That was hilarious, too.
Oh, yeah. What was that? Who voiced that?
I have no idea.
I think it was Scott Adkins.
But I just remember being like really thrown off by the voice that came out of that character.
It did not fit. It did not fit Smoke.
You're the guy behind the computer.
Yeah, so I went with Brad Pitt in Inglourious Bastards.
That was on my short list too.
And I mean his heavy Southern accent. But he has this heavy Southern accent, and then him trying to do the Italian accent. Good Army is peak comedy.
Grazie. Gorlomi? Lo pronuncio correttamente? Sì, corretto. Gorlomi? Per cortesia, me lo ripeti ancora. Gorlami. Mi scusi con me? Gorlami. Ancora una volta. Gorlami.
Buongiorno.
Buongiorno.
I'm good at accents. I got this. Or like whatever the scene goes. It's fucking great.
So good. It's a really good one and that's a good pick because he doubles up, so you get a little bit extra on that one.
I love it too because like there's something about like Brad Pitt and actors like Brad Pitt when you can tell they're having fun in a movie, like it's more fun for us to watch. Yeah. So you can tell he's like loving this character and doing that role with that accent, and the actor or the character thinks he's nailing it.
And
I actually thought you were gonna go with Con Air.
Oh yeah, that's a fun. I mean, that's just like a bad Southern accent. It's fun, but like.
But like me and my girl were watching like Silver Linings Playbook the other night, and it was like they really went hard on like the hoagie and the like the heavy O's and everything. But like they do that with New York, they do it with Chicago, or it's like with Chicago. Like
the worst is Jersey. No one's ever fucking talked like that in New Jersey.
Nope. But we might sound like that. Brian and Yusuf are like, yeah, you guys sound just like.
We don't say Jersey.
No, it's Joyzy, but like we talk so fast that I've had people be like, "Where the hell are you from?" And it's like, I have to say Philly.
Dalcow. You're from Dalcow, the Philly accent.
I've never told.
I know you do.
Dalcow. I just go Philly because it just makes sense.
You're from New Jersey.
You have to pick a certain point.
I know. So it's fun when I was when I went to college my freshman year. And I went in PA, so a lot of people at TJ's talking about. And I never thought I had any sort of accent. And we're drinking, and I'm like, yeah, I don't really have an accent. Everyone turns their head and goes, yeah, you get a couple beers and you start really fast. You really sound like you're from New Jersey. Like,
you literally just said, yeah, I have an accent. But I know what you said, but no one else might know what you said. All right, but anyway.
Yeah.
Hey TJ, I could go in and out of the Pennsylvania, New Jersey accent combination if you want.
Luckily, nobody has
I'm gonna go home.
From. I'm a fucking chameleon. Any honorable mention? I have an honorable mention. Gary Oldman in Fifth Element. I like his stuff.
That's fun.
His weird voice.
I feel like that's like a Texan accent he's trying to do, or something weird like that, right?
Well, he bounces back. He's got like a British accent, right? Yeah. And he kind of bounces back and forth.
And it's
you know what's crazy about this? I was watching Spider-Man: Homecoming, and even Tom Holland's like American accent, like in the beginning where he's doing that whole it's like the recap of Civil War where he's doing the cell phone video.
Okay, yeah.
His British accent slips maybe 2 or 3 times in whole period. I'm just like, that is something that like it's hard to hide it, but I'm surprised he does it so well.
And
Yeah, I guess you could
Daniel
say
Craig.
Chris Hemsworth fake Thor accent, whatever that's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Daniel Craig and Knives Out.
Yeah, that's a good one.
All right.
I
Joe.
love when watching people slip in and out of their accents. Speaking of slipping out of their accents, we could slip in and out of some artwork in film. Speaking of Ghostbusters 2,
I don't know if I like that or not, but it was good.
I don't know, man. I'm trying to
Thread
get
the
better at
needle
this.
there. Just
Ghostbusters 2 though features the famous Vigo the Carpathian painting. And so I asked the guys, what is your favorite, I guess not only painting, but like just artwork from a movie?
Red Dragon. I had to say it.
All
Like,
right, you go, Yusuf. Just
well,
go
Red
off.
Dragon's a real painting, though.
I know,
right?
but it's utilized in the movie. It's
How is it
central to the
utilized?
plot, and it gives him the power to become the dragon. Yeah, I fucking love that painting, and it being translated into his body, and him becoming that actual dragon, him eating the painting in the museum. Like, it's just so
I
fucking
love that.
Check out our episode
Manhunter.
on Manhunter.
Manhunter, in Red Dragon, and in Hannibal. All three. Take them. I love them. I could get a fourth, and I'll enjoy that Red Dragon painting as well.
Would you hang up a Red Dragon painting on your monkey wall?
No, I think it would contrast the monkeys.
Can I ask a real quick question? Major motion pictures. Everybody, real quick, rank your Silent Lambs franchise. Go, Yusuf.
The all of them, including the franchise, the series,
All.
or just the movie?
No, not the series. Not Hannibal. That's out. Movies.
And including, including
Silent...
Manhunter too?
Yeah, include Manhunter.
Sure,
if you want. Silence, Manhunter, Hannibal, Red Dragon, and Hannibal Rising.
Okay. Joe.
Silence, Manhunter, Hannibal, I'll go Hannibal, Red Dragon, and then 15 Feet of Shit, Hannibal Rising.
Wow.
Yeah,
fucking hate Hannibal Rising.
Yeah, it's hard with the Hannibal Red Dragon thing because like they're kind of interchangeable for me. I kind of like them both about the same. I think my top two is the same as far as like I think Silence will always be my favorite, but Manhunter's really close, and the Michael Mann of Manhunter really like makes it badass. The way it looks and stuff is really great. But and then I'd go back and forth. Like I love Hannibal's got some actually good stuff. I know it got shit on at the time, but I really like it. It's directed by Ridley Scott. And then maybe just I used to really love Manhunter, but I think I would put Hannibal over Manhunter too.
Oh, wow.
There's other versions of it that aren't directed by a sex pest, and it's kind of workmanlike. It's just kind of like director for hire. There's nothing real.
I think you misspoke. You said Manhunter, but you meant Red Dragon.
Oh yeah, sorry, Red Dragon. Red Dragon, like it's got I think good performances, kind of high that it's kind of bland. Outside of that, like Edward Norton's really great and Ray Fiennes really amazing, and you kind of are like, oh man, I'm really taken in by that. Then you're like, oh, but outside of that, just kind of a regular like crime movie, like a Da Vinci Code or some shit.
You know what's wild? I just looked it up. Just as I think quite a few of us we've been getting really into like buying the Criterion Blu-rays or like the special like Shout Factory Blu-rays. Wouldn't you think Manhunter over Silence of the Lambs would be the Criterion film?
Yeah, you think,
because if it's less.
One, yeah.
No, there was a Shout Factory, and it must have been real limited release because it sells secondary for $250.
Damn.
Well, no thanks.
Yeah, I want to buy Manhunter, but I don't love it $250.
I want to buy.
I don't love it for $30. Yes.
What was it?
I want to buy Thief.
Oh, nice.
So TJ, what's your ranking before we move?
Mine's exactly what Brian's was. Just keep it like nice and quick.
Cool.
Red Dragon's definitely.
I feel like everybody gave the same ranking, so we're in alliance.
So TJ, what would your artwork pick be from a film?
Well, I saw what Brian did. He thought it was like a one that was made up for the film. I don't know
for the film
is or not, but it's just something that's always been stuck with me, and it's a strong moment. It's Cameron in the Chicago Art Museum.
Yeah, that's good.
Which obviously, I'm sure is pretty much a
It's a real painting.
Yeah, I think that's a real painting. I don't know what it
Have
might
you
be.
visited
Jackson,
in the
is it Jackson
museum?
Pollock or
That
something?
when it was happening during that, but also like if I want to do
It's a famous. It's
anything
a
that
Monet?
did in Beetlejuice, any artwork or
Oh,
sculpture
that's good. That's a good pick.
is incredible.
Yeah.
When she gets like trapped in things, like I don't want to die for my own work. It's like
Delia's art is good. Good pick.
Yeah,
Good
Delia's
pick.
art. I feel like they could, also because they come alive too at the end of it. Like that's one like
Sunday afternoon on the island of Grand Jadat.
Oh, is that the one from Ferris Bueller?
By Surratt. Yeah, it's George Surratt.
I think it's a song more than the painting.
I actually saw that painting in Chicago. It was pretty. It's an okay painting.
I live here. And
I'd give it about a B.
It's a B plus.
No, but Beetlejuice. The whole movie features just pieces of artwork. Even Catherine O'Hara is trying to make art in that movie.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. Good stuff.
They actually I think they have like a picture like in their like fireplace room. Looks like the Cameron picture from the Ferris Bueller, but I got to go back and watch it.
I have an honorable mention real quick. I don't think nobody has it. Not another teen movie.
Yes, you're about to steal mine. So.
Not another teen movie when she's painting and he comes up and he's like, "Oh, she has your eyes," and then they show it and it's a stick figure painting.
I was saying my joke answer was going to be the video recording of the plastic bag floating around in American Beauty. Like, sometimes there's just so much beauty in the world, I can't stand it. I can't remember how many years I would see a plastic bag and I would make that joke. It's still funny.
It's like, I made you a mixtape. She just throws it in the locker with all the fucking other mixtapes. Shout out Laura.
Oh. Was the jet engine taking off from Joe's house now? Okay. My pick, I didn't know if we were going to do strictly paintings, but I guess my painting answer would be the art from Candyman, the new one and the original. There's some like amazing paintings on the walls and stuff. Original one, but also the art that he does in the new one is really cool, and he does some really great stuff with that.
Yeah, I like the wall mural of him with the mouth open and the mouth.
She walks through it.
Oh, that's such a good.
I haven't seen the new one yet.
The new one slaps.
The new one's really good. It's really good.
Really?
And then my other answer was
it's okay. It's good. It's fine.
I thought it was good. The other answer for a piece of art was the songs for Dewey Cox. Like the whole like him inhabiting that persona and like performing those songs and actually going out and playing as Dewey Cox. I was like, that's art to me, man. I'll take it. Art.
I have another one. The
relic.
The Norman Osborn painting in Spider-Man 3, where that James Franco talks to.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Norman Osborn. Spider-Man 3.
Yeah. One that he talks to, like.
Yeah, Willem Dafoe. The Willem Dafoe painting. I would, like Joe or you asked me, would you hang it up here? I would hang up Willem Dafoe here for sure. Like that painting, 100%.
Or the Kramer, or you get the Kramer from
the Kramer. Yeah, that the art critics just going like, he's an animal. But I can't take my eyes off him.
Does like a piece of furniture count, or is that not art?
Oh, yeah, it's art, depending.
So from Problem Child 2, the bed he has, where it's like a rocket ship bed. If anyone remembers that, that was my thing. But then okay, never mind. Anyway, I was trying to fill time in.
What happened to Joe? You lost Joe.
Hit pause.
Okay.
Let's see if Joe comes back, then I'll edit in.
All right. So where did we leave off? Sorry, you have to cut this one.
We don't know if you said
Did you say your piece of art?
Not pick, but Brian, what's your pick? Just so I don't.
Oh no, I said Candyman.
Candyman.
And the music of Dewey Cox.
Oh, good. Okay, I'll say my pick.
Transition.
All right, guys. So of course, my pick. I think I just love it. It's such a weird scene. It's the two dogs from Goodfellas that Pesci's mom paints.
Yes.
Hey, that looks like someone we know, right?
Yeah. There's one going this way, one going that way. And it's just such a
Look at this guy. He's saying, what's going on?
It's just such a break, especially since it's Pesci's mom, or the woman playing Pesci's mom is Scorsese's mom, but actually Pileggi, who wrote the book Wise Guy's mother, actually painted that painting. So there's some really interworking layers to that painting.
I need to think about that.
And then like Scorsese's, they wanted that scene particularly to make it feel real, like a mother would take him in. So Scorsese's mom made all the food, and like they filmed it as if like just act. It was truly, I think, directed as just act if your son came home in the middle of the night with some friends and you know what was going on, and that's why they sit down to feed him. And she's like, "See this painting? I painted it. It's great, isn't it great? Why don't you talk so much?" So that's my pick.
Why doesn't Henry talk so much? That's a great pick of an original like art. Like,
piece of art that's only in the movie. Yeah, I like that one.
I'd love to have that painting. I think it was my computer background in like high school. Like my parent, like the family desktop. Two dogs. One goes this way, that way.
All right. So that was the topic. Ghostbusters.
Yeah, we did it. We did all the topics.
We're there?
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I mean, I had a choice when it came. We didn't do after the Halloween episode ended. We didn't do our normal pick the next episode.
I wonder why.
It was 3 hours or 2.5, whatever the fuck it was.
It was closer to 4.
The guys have been waiting for like days for me to pick one. I had an idea and I gave it to them, and they weren't too like hype on it. And it was The Hobbit. I was just gonna have them watch The Hobbit.
I wanted to watch the Rankin and Bass hype for that.
So then I also was talking about another idea I had of watching a sequel because of this movie's coming out, and we were talking about Ghostbusters 2. Obviously, Ghostbusters Afterlife is coming out. This is a very arguably actually a disliked sequel or a hated sequel essentially. But for me, someone who grew up
seems to be fairly unpopular still.
Yeah, very unpopular.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, I grew up watching.
Yeah, I thought it would have gotten that revisionist history that many movies from that era has gotten lately.
But people like it's another rehash of the original one, which sure, if you want to pick apart it could be.
It definitely hits the same beats. Like it really like. I mean, like you can put them on next to each other. They really do run parallel,
obviously. But this film for me hits hard, hits home. But Ghostbusters 2, I don't know if you guys like it or.
I love it.
Okay.
Hey, I've
always been baffled by people not liking it. I've always think to me, it's just that there were 2 good Ghostbusters movies.
Yeah,
and then it wasn't until I was an adult that I found out people didn't like Ghostbusters 2.
I mean, probably my age and whatnot. I saw Ghostbusters 2 first.
Yeah, I mean,
like the sequel was always better as a kid, right?
That's like Return of the Jedi for me, where I did
they perfected
Star Wars. But obviously, like quick synopsis, you get the guys years later after the first events of the first Ghostbusters. You get everyone coming back. Sigourney Weaver, Ernie Hudson has a bigger role, obviously.
Does he?
Kinda.
No, actually, I was thinking that he did. I have that note too. They actually give him some stuff to do in this one.
Yeah.
And he disappears for a big fucking chunk of the movie.
He gets to be funnier in this one than he gets to be in the first one. Because I watched them both.
Right, have their best
I watched the special features they had for Ghostbusters 2. It's just this like interview with like Reitman and Dan Aykroyd, and they specifically talk about Ernie Hudson for like. Yeah. Almost a little too long, where it's like you guys are focusing on like way too much of Ernie, and Dan Aykroyd's like, well, Ernie, he's just great.
Yeah, I feel like he disappears for a huge chunk of the movie. I don't know. I disagree. I feel like he should have been a bigger part of it. It felt like main 3 again.
you can still be disappointed in how much he was in it, but you still agree that he was in it more. He had more to do than the first one.
What does he do
Hey,
outside
they
of
put him
dancing
on
at
the
the beginning?
poster.
Oh man!
Oh come on,
I
he
don't
has to
even
do it
get
with the
He-Man.
train. He breaks down the door and saves him when the photo lab is on fire.
So he
gets some
comes in
more
the
fun
end and just
jokes.
goes out of fire.
Welcome to Ernie Hudson
Hey,
fights.
hey!
I wanted more.
This is
I
the
wanted
point.
more.
I liked Ernie Hudson. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, Winston's the best. One of the best Ghostbusters.
Okay, so basically, the boys, the Ghostbusters, everyone in the comments, let us know which the four of us, which Ghostbusters we all are personality wise. But the guys get themselves in a pickle
I'm
again.
definitely
you know?
Kristen Wiig, I think.
New York is under fire with some ooze in the fucking underground subways. I love this movie. I also think it's more quote. I love the first one. I think the first one was one of my favorite movies of all time. But quotable wise, being a kid when I saw this, like probably 9 or 10 ish, it was just like one of those things like we were just doing the ooh, but that woo, and all those.
The Do Re Egon,
Yeah,
like that's so funny. That was my text message notification for like a very long
The
time.
Do Re Egon.
I thought it was gonna be He-Man, like those type of things. Just like hit the music.
The kid that tells
Jason
him to get up.
Reitman is a snotty kid at the beginning of this movie,
Yes.
and now he's a snotty kid directing Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Fun fact. My first note I wrote down though is just like, God, I love Kurt Fuller because Ghostbusters 2 is great with these character actors, side characters.
Yeah,
There's a lot.
Yeah, like if
there's a lot.
you're not
Get your
bringing
hands
back
off
Bill
me.
Atherton, Kurt Fuller is a nice replacement. You know,
Fuller,
There's
especially
a
just
lot of
popping up like.
Me and the
Also,
my first note is, why is the taxi driver honking at the stroller that's coming down the street? He's like, do you think like the stroller is gonna
baby?
the stroller is gonna swerve because you fucking honked at it?
yeah, we didn't. We didn't hit up the thing enough where there's a river of pink slime. It's flowing towards a painting at a museum. There's the evil painting. And Dana works at the museum now, which I thought was funny. It's like apparently she's a cellist, but she can just also restore classic paintings. That's just like that was her minor in college and art school.
It's an
or whatever.
insane skill. It's an insane,
You know what should happen?
grueling, intensive skill
guys,
she's doing. By the way,
just listen. Ready? I'm talking about a moneymaker right here. Ready? Okay. We go back in time, right? HBO Max, Netflix, hear me out.
Annie Potts.
Who her parents are?
Oh.
There's got to be something deep in there. You know what I mean? We dive into it. We have 12 episodes per season. And then at the very end, she's pregnant. And it's... Anyway,
Jesus.
As you're saying.
That's
okay. You're onto something, TJ.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I think we'll be expecting a call. We'll be expecting a
so
call.
the pink slime is using the negative energy that New Yorkers project to grow and bring Vigo's vision to life.
Is Vigo the one that is producing it, or is it just ectoplasm that is building underneath?
No, it's Vigo's.
Yeah, I feel like because he's using it, it's concentrated. But because the Ghostbusters are able to turn it against him, I don't think it's like he didn't create it or anything. I think it's just like happens to be that he
because other ghosts pop out of it.
Yeah,
so
right. Yeah, it's just like it's
there was over 100,000 gallons of slime mixed for this movie.
I believe it. That river looks really good when he first gets lowered down and it's like shooting through the tunnels.
Yeah,
I like that. I really like when when it squeezes into the bathtub and the bathtub tries to get Sigourney Weaver and the baby.
And bends.
Yeah, no, the bathtub lunges at them when they leave the room. I love that. I thought it was interesting. I noticed this time, Egon's work that he's doing before they reform the Ghostbusters is like similar to what the movie's about. It's like it focuses on energy. How people's emotions and their emotional energy and how that affects the environment around them and stuff. I was like, oh, okay, that's a good little bit of writing.
Let's see what happens when we take the puppy away. It's like, yep, go ahead. We've been turning up the temperature in this divorce couple's room, and they keep telling them they have to wait an hour.
Like,
That's actually, I didn't even think about that.
He's gonna murder, he's gonna actually, but he's gonna cause a murder in that room. Like, either the wife or the husband is gonna get it, and it's gonna be his fault.
But that's my point of like Ghostbusters 2 is like it takes all these guys, which Hollywood would make a joke about. Like, well, I feel like they did it before it was like more meta, to where like they're making fun of them after the fact that it was such a big hit and they're doing a sequel. Now Peter Venkman's running that show where it's like he's like, I'm a joke, and he's like, we couldn't get the guy who could bend spoons, so we got this guy who's, shout out the dad from Transformers or whoever the fuck that was, and then
it's him.
Yeah, Alien, the Holiday.
Small
soldiers.
But like, obviously, Winston and Ray are doing the birthday party thing. Egon's doing his thing. Venkman's doing his thing. Everyone's separated, and everyone gets pulled back together. But like, it's even a joke where he goes like, but what a ride. Like that one part, like when they're packing up the packs to go to the next thing. And there's like, we'll hit a bar, I'll buy you a beer. And he's like, do you ever think about that? He's like, yeah, but what a ride. They knew what they were doing with like a throwaway sequel, essentially. Knowing they get money from the top and probably get shit like Batman Returns, essentially, like Batman 89.
It's funny because, actually, Batman came out the week after this movie, so they thought they broke a bunch of box office records. But then Batman shattered them all.
Batman came out and shattered them immediately.
Mm-hmm. And it was like one of the biggest drops ever because of Batman. But that's what I'm gonna say. Is I don't know. I think this is just Bill Murray when he doesn't like something, he just says, "I read a different script." Because what they say is, "Oh, the script we wrote is not what got filmed," and they're very adamant about.
As much as I think, and I kind of agree with Brian Youssef on this one. Like over the years, I kind of got sick of Bill Murray shit. But if he went by what the original shit was, would we be as into it as we are now, or we think like he kind of gives it the Bill Murray charm?
I think
like as much as he sucks, but
I think this
he's
movie
fucking
just
hilarious
like,
in this movie.
Yeah,
Like his psychic opening, his psychic show, like just from a sales point perspective, wouldn't you want to like the end of the world not be in Christmas? It's like
He so funny. You're not even getting a paperback sales till next year.
Wouldn't this movie funny. I think what works so well about this movie though is it did lean a little bit into their appeal to kids with like the real Ghostbusters, where they were like, okay, let's clean up a little bit, so you have those more fun moments and more comedy and more of this.
I actually think though, watching them back to back again, I think this one has more scary moments than the first one. Yeah. Like the shit in the train down in the train tunnel with the severed heads is freaky.
The witch stealing the baby scared the hell out of me.
Yeah, Janusz as like a old ghost maid, and her arms stretch out and grab the baby off the ledge. The baby's walking on the ledge. It's scary.
But even the scarier part of that is after Janusz, which is, I mean, we made the whole topic around this accent earlier in the podcast, but like I don't know the actor's name. I know he's the baby Jesus. He's the dad. What was that? I'm sorry.
Peter McNichol. He's on Ally McBeal and Chicago Hope.
The whole scene where there's a power outage in New York, right? And he goes and visits fucking God, off the top of my dome. Dana.
See Dana.
And he's like, does the baby thing. He's like, oh, but I woo. The joke. As soon as when she closes the door and he turns in that hallway and his eyes go glow. Yeah. When I was a kid, I was like,
that freaked Harrison out when he was little too. Absolutely.
Even the ending, Dan Aykroyd Vigo makeup.
Oh yes,
it's creepy.
No, I am Vigo.
Like it's a like I have this like coffee table book that has like basically just ultimate like visual history of the Ghostbusters, and there's so much cool concept.
I like that your blur is blurring it out as if we can't promote it. Like we're blurring it out because we don't have the rights.
We don't want to get our video taken down.
Play Ray Parker Jr. right now.
So important.
Like the amount of concept art and like creatures they designed and did for this, like even the Scalari brothers in this thing have their own.
Oh, that's my favorite part of this movie, by the way.
I love the Scalari brothers. They're fun. That's a lot of.
And I love how the judge knows immediately.
Yeah, he's like the Scalari brothers.
He's like find them for murder.
Yeah,
just
I
a
love
fun
the
world.
performance from the judge. Like that, his energy is so great. He really is like.
Oh,
Doing
and also,
Yeah, he was about to
some of the
fucking have a
funniest
stroke.
lines. Some of the funniest lines in the whole movie are Rick Moranis as the
Oh,
lawyer.
Rick Moranis as the
He's
lawyer.
like when he the I turned
I
into a
was
dog
just
and they helped
dog.
me.
Yeah.
And then also when he turns around and he's like, "Come on, we're both lawyers."
Yeah. Well, they were saying like
Rick Moranis so good in this
obviously-
movie.
yeah, say obviously shout out who we were talking about earlier was Zedmore. Fuck.
Ernie Hudson.
Ernie Hudson not getting enough film time. Like they gave Rick Moranis like let's just give
They gave him his film time.
Oh yeah,
his
absolutely.
whole thing. Yeah.
He's the fifth.
But I also-
Ghostbuster.
I like when
commercial they filmed.
Egon tells him when he does like his intro to the case, he's like, "Good job, short and pointless."
I agree with Joe. Joe was about to say something about the commercials. I think the commercial in this one is funnier too. The whole thing, hot thermal beverage mug and balloon for the kids.
Yeah.
He puts it in.
He's like, I love it. That's so
I was
fun.
saying, like, even like the from the courtroom, it's like he's like, "Do you have any more questions? Do we?" He's like, "No, I think we helped them enough." He's like, "No further questions," and just moved on. This movie has so many of those quotes. That's what I'm saying. Like this movie, as much as like Ghostbusters is a better film all around, the quotes in this is like an Ace Ventura 2 When Nature Calls. Like it's fucking bullshit. It doesn't make no sense at all. But the quoting is flawless.
Well, even the just to jump to the ending of like it's so over the top and silly, and like I wrote in a tweet like cocaine fueled because that's how it feels of just like, okay, now the Statue of Liberty is alive and we're gonna play Take You Higher.
The Statue of Liberty coming to life is such a cool set piece. That is awesome. Like what a great idea.
Even the walk
what a fun image to do. Like coming up with that was so controlling it with the Nintendo Power Pad. Love that.
I don't know. It's a fun movie, and I think that
I love the Titanic coming back too. That was a that was a really funny bit.
Yes,
With
Cheech,
Cheech. Just Cheech cameo. Better than
like just random Cheech cameo.
One of the best lines ever delivered. It's like they're talking about the negative fueled slime underneath the city. He's like, "You want me to tell a million New Yorkers that they have to be nice to each other? Being rude is every New Yorker's God-given right." And you're just like, and then it clips into that whole montage, and you're like, this is exactly what Ghostbuster is because it's not good.
I love that the Jets make an appearance and they're being utilized as as they should.
Diaper, as a diaper,
fucking diaper.
I still want that hoodie. That was not hoodie, sweatshirt. That was a great sweatshirt. I want that.
There is
I
a
got
moment.
This from a girl who got this from Joe Namath.
I don't remember the moment he says it, but Bill Murray has a quote that should be utilized by all gay or LGBTQ film nerds, and it's when they're it's in the restaurant when they come in and they were like screaming about the ectoplasm river. And Bill Murray's just like, "Guys, you're scaring the straights." And it's so fucking fun. It's so fucking fun.
I love sucking your guts, boys. We're the Ghostbusters. That's a really funny moment too.
That's actually very good. You have Bill Murray's brother playing the. That's from this one, right?
What is it?
Oh, I didn't see that in any.
Like when they get sent to the psych ward from that point.
Yeah.
That's
his brother. Okay.
Don't tell anyone about this. You know what I mean? Let it go. Piece of shit that's not Will Atherton.
Yeah.
Walter Peck. You know what I mean?
More Annie Potts looking better than ever.
I spent the night talking to so and so in the corner. We're the Ghostbusters, and they're like, I had them committed. And you're like, fucking A.
I like the Frighteners. I never made the connection that the Frighteners. Maybe it's not even a connection, but the Frighteners, the jogging ghost, is kind of like a homage to this. To Ghostbusters.
Yeah, kind of, absolutely. I like I love that montage. I did want to say Annie Potts does look great in this, Joe. Also, they made her look more like her cartoon version.
Yes.
They
Annie
she's
Potts
the only
was
one they
great.
specifically went out of their way to like make look like the cartoon, which I thought was really funny. I love when she says, "I gave him some French bread pizza. He passed right out."
and
the good babysitter
Weaver,
right there, baby.
Sigourney Weaver's
Oh, when
like,
Rick
he's a
Moranis
baby.
tells him that he was practicing on his hamster. That's why he kisses so well.
Should we leave her alone? No, we should stay. Okay. Also, never mind. Anyway, move on.
Alright.
It's
Moving on.
It's just a great movie, and if you listen to like Reitman and like them talk about it, they say like this is the one that spurned all the merchandise that you get today, or like try to nostalgia. The first one was pushed out so quickly that like they didn't have toys released for it immediately.
Yeah.
Well, you could buy. The thing was, like, in Halloween came around after this, is you couldn't find those slime tank costumes. Those were hard to find because you have the original ones or not. But the toys were pretty. They just redid the first season ones and then did it
They
again.
repurposed them.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha. Cool. So,
I like the dark gray jumpsuits. I wish this.
yeah, I did too.
I
I
know
think
that they have the ghost with the two, like they're acknowledging that it's the second they're back. Like
another
ghost, but I don't think you would do that. I think you would just go with a classic logo. But hey, whatever, it works for the movie. It kind of was like a little bit of surrealism in the movie. Like I like that wink to like, yes, we're doing the sequel thing.
Another note I like about it too is at the end when Rick Moranis puts on the suit, it's one of the Ghostbuster suits. It's not like, and he has his own patch now too. Like he's wearing, I think, Venkman's suit.
Yeah.
Or Stan. I think he's wearing. Yeah, I think he's wearing. Like a
I have a note in here that says Spider-Man ass ending, and I think I was just talking about how like the whole goodwill of New York City has to come together and like cheer them on and stuff. And I was like, a Spider-Man ass ending.
So.
Well, we can talk about that actually if you want to.
About what? About the ending?
Where he comes out.
Yeah,
the whole fucking where he's like a live body, but like New York sings to him, and he's like, while holding the baby and throws the baby, and also has to be the guy that saves it.
Dives and catches the baby, of course.
That's what I'm asking. Like, if Bill Murray doesn't read the scripts, right, or just goes on his own thing, does he make that decision then? And he's like, I'm gonna die. Y'all just throw a baby at me. He's like, like what is it?
Also, that's a very cute baby. I'm just gonna say.
Actually, two very cute babies.
Yeah, don't say the sad thing. We'll just keep going with the.
And also, one of the best lines delivered in this is like, he's like, you never had any toys? He's like, I have a slinky, but I straightened it.
Part of a slinky.
Best lines in this entire film.
All right, let's go into the ratings phase. TJ.
Oh, this one hits hard. Oh, man. I'm going to go... I always thought the slime looked edible. Am I wrong?
It does.
Yeah, kind of.
It actually was
like a toffee.
Yeah, like a nice little, but like a watermelon flavored airhead that was left in the sun too long, but hardened, like toffee.
Ooh, okay.
So I'm gonna go 8.7 museum toffee lollipops out of this one. This one hits home for me. I love this movie. It's not a sequel that like a lot of people fucking like at all. If
I think people are too stuck up about their Ghostbusters.
Yeah, but it's like you can't watch the first one without watching the second one, and you're not going to watch the third one without playing the third video game. If there's a third, regardless, just fucking watch both movies together. I love this movie.
Joe.
Yeah, let's this one. Like everyone else, super nostalgic. I have a lot of fun watching it. I had a lot of fun watching it today. It made me realize why I do love the Ghostbusters and buy a bunch of crap for the Ghostbusters when I see it. Like I have their whole figure line on my windowsill. Yeah, I'm at 8.3 on this. 8.3 ectoplasms. I've probably seen Ghostbusters 2 more than I've seen 1 in my life.
Fine.
Yeah, I mean, it's again, I've always been baffled, always enjoyed this. If its worst crime is just that it kind of like follows the beats of the first movie, I understand why that's a little disappointing, but also they do it so well. I don't understand, like, it's still funny, like they still found a way to make it enjoyable. I don't know everybody's problem is with this one, but I'm with these guys. Obviously, this one's getting like, I'll give this 8. Let's say 8 Sigourney Weaver bras.
Ooh.
Nice. Oh.
A Sigourney Weaver in a towel almost falling.
Yeah,
they really.
I noticed. Don't think I didn't notice.
I enjoy it. It is inferior to the first one, but it's not a steep drop off that you go like, wow, what the hell did they do here? It's
This
still
isn't
fun.
Caddyshack to Caddyshack 2.
Yeah, it's still fun.
No, not at
Very
all.
funny. All the guys have at least one moment that they make you laugh. Rick Moranis arguably almost steals the movie, which is of 12 feet given the cast.
When he gets on the bus and Slimer's driving the bus,
it's
God,
you
it's so
again.
funny.
I'll give it a 7.5 Ernie Hudson's. I almost said it. Almost said it. I was like, Johnson.
No, you did say it.
Hudson's. It was like a chess move. I didn't pull my finger off the pawn.
At least I didn't have to ask you, which I did.
Brian, what's the next movie?
Okay, no game or anything. I have 2 choices. I was just going to kind of leave it up to you guys to vote. One is a kind of like late 90s thriller that might have some like connotations to like the world, might have a little bit more of a serious bent to it, might lead to that type of a conversation. One is 80s comedy that may or may not hold up. So
is there boobies in either or?
I don't think there are in either.
All right, guys, huddle up.
So here, is this good?
All right. I think we should go with
Brian.
Take my earbuds out.
I don't know. We got both silly.
All right, so we don't say anything. Just put either one finger up or 2 fingers up, like one for the first one and second for the other one. 1, 2, 3, go. All right, the first one.
So we're doing the 90s thriller, something a little more adult, something a little more grown up for the Flyboys this week. I want to do a little movie called Arlington Road, starring Jeff Bridges.
Never heard of it.
Anybody familiar? Nobody's ever heard of this? Good. That's cool. That's cool.
I like that.
Well, good. Yeah, that's awesome. It came out in like 98 or 99, I think. So I don't know where we'll find it. Let me see. I'll look up right now and see if it's available anywhere.
Are you willing to give up the other one?
The other one was going to be Crocodile Dundee.
Okay, thank God. I like Arlington Road.
No, Arlington Road is fun. It's fun to do
I
a
like
movie.
Crocodile Dundee. Don't get me wrong, but I want to watch
it. It looks like it's available on Hulu, perhaps.
Okay.
We all own Crocodile Dundee and Crocodile Dundee 2.
We do.
Guys, so Arlington Road is it? Where can the people find you, Brian?
Oh, you can find me on Twitter at Hercules. Just spewing hot fire all the time.
TJ, where?
You guys know I'm at TJDex on Twitter.com. Damn, that was awful. Also at Flyover State of Film on YouTube. Check out all the new episodes of there's new DVD Bunker coming out. There's new Why Love Movies coming out. There's new. No, we canceled the What You Never Seen This. But anyway, check it out, boys.
Joe.
Girls.
Yo, you can find me on this channel or any other podcast services on Flyover State of Fear. We're ramping up the episodes and guests and diverse who's coming on. We're looking forward to recording all of them. So check them out. We just covered 1977's House, which is a really bizarre film. Watch that movie and give the episode a listen to afterwards.
Bye.
Bye.